Yeah, lead up to the grand final was quite different to 2017. And both years I had my academy running during grand final week, so it was a great moment where you can shift your focus from yourself to others, and I think that kind of helps. It's very typical in football when you're trying to help someone else. Not only does it help someone else, but it betters you as a person as well. So being able to be part of the academy all week allowed me to shift my focus to the youth, and so there wasn't much time to think about the game itself. But the difference between 17 and 19 is I felt like there was a bit more expectation, whereas 17 there was, we went in, underdogs, and just go out there and play and enjoy it, which the same thing applied. Obviously the message from Dimmer was enjoy the moment. You don't get this opportunity every year. Enjoy the moment, but kind of a little bit anxiety, to an extent fear of failure a little bit, but just short glimpses. But every now and then I have to check in to see, to realise that, what we've been able to achieve so far, the evidence is there. So if we go in with that mentality, we should be okay. My game. Yeah, I was. Once I got to the MCG, I was super relaxed, ready to go. Very similar feeling to 17, and I had a few messages in my notes that I went back and just had to remind myself of the situation I was in, how blessed I was, and grateful that given the opportunity to play in another grand final, the success we've had as a team. Personally, it's been my best year in football. So all that sort of evidence there to go behind preparing for the biggest game of the year. So once I read those sort of notes, it kind of put a smile on my face, and the evidence was there. It was just about me going out there, enjoying myself, and just executing what I had to execute. I remember before the game, as a backline group, spoke about celebrating every single moment out there, regardless of the score. If we're up or down, game is really close, just celebrate every single moment that you think is deserving of celebrating. Whether it's a punch, small goal, stopping a goal, laying a tackle, whatever it is, make it significant, because it's infectious and it feels great. I remember Grimesy coming over to me, and I laid one of the first tackles of the game, got hold of the ball. That's not typically my game. My game is an offensive game, very minimal defensive influence. But when I had Dylan Grimes come over to me and say, "I'm so proud of you, what an effort," it inspired me to do more. So I think that's what the message that I was sending before the game. Celebrate every moment, because it's infectious and it's intimidating to the opposition. When you're seeing opposition celebrate things that are so small, it goes to show that there's something special about this group. Yeah, definitely. I was very confident walking in at half time, but the job wasn't done, of course. Midway through the third quarter, that's when I thought to myself, is this really happening? Is this really happening? By the time it was last quarter it felt great. 10 goals up, and I just wanted to really enjoy the moment with my teammates. Although some of them were still process driven and didn't want to think about it. So as a collective, as a team, it was probably the 20-minute mark of the last quarter. That's when I reminded everyone just to enjoy the moment, soak it all in, look around, and really enjoy it. But for me, it was much earlier. The highlight of my game was Trent kicking that last goal, or that goal 2 minutes to go, and seeing his most awkward celebration that I've ever seen. But you know what? It was the proudest moment of my day, because of what Trent has gone through. I mean, he's a close friend of mine. Seeing what he went through throughout the year for the adversity of his body, his newborn, it's a pressure build up, and I go through that a little bit as well with family and kids. So to see him, ice the cake at the end was my proudest moment of the day. It wasn't a blur. It was just living in a moment. I was in the defensive 50, and I remember it was different to 17. I remember I couldn't control myself. I grabbed Trent, the first person, brought him to the ground. This time I can't remember exactly who I celebrated. See, because probably we won by so much and had more time to reflect and really take it all in. I remember celebrating for a couple of teammates, but really quickly, and then quickly went over towards the opposition and shook hands with a few players. And I thought to myself, there's only going to be a long time where I can enjoy it with my teammates, rather just respect the opposition, shake their hand, and congratulate them on the fantastic year they had. I was definitely in the defensive 50, but I had a lot of time after that to celebrate it with my teammates on a personal level. It's good to be able to contribute to a great grand final victory, and something that I will cherish for the rest of my life. So played obviously 2 grand finals, and I've had a half decent impact in both games, so it makes me feel proud of the position I'm in, and very grateful for obviously being a part of two great premierships.
Number 14, Bachar Houli.